Greetings all you maniacs, minds, like rhymes, and today I want to talk about the Dead Space Remake because recently I've been playing it a lot again, and man, it really is like one of those games where you just go back to it and you remember just how amazing it actually is. So, recently, not really recently, I guess, but I did a full playthrough series of the Dead Space Remake. Nobody watched it, but yeah, that was really cool. Because it was all fairly new, but it was still Dead Space. The similar notes and everything, but it was just from the ground up, pretty much remade. So I had a lot of fun with that, and I still have a lot of fun with the game. So to real quick talk about some of like the little parts of the remake. The story is effectively the same. So it all starts with, Isaac and the Kellyan crew going to the Ishimura to investigate a quote unquote communications blackout. And then they step right dead foot into hell, effectively. Necromorphs everywhere. The unitologists are going absolutely crazy. And the marker is doing marker things. So it's not a fun time for anyone. So all that is fairly the same, except the remake gives a lot more character and personality to everybody. I don't really remember the character and personalities of, like, say, original Hammond and original Kendra, but I just remember them being kind of there. Also, the voice acting is a little bit better. And there is a lot more lore going on, and there's a lot more audio logs you can listen to, and there's a few video logs you can watch. That really just shows like the downfall and the down spiral, the very fast down spiral of the Ishimura when they found the goddamn marker on Aegis 7. And of course, the unitologists are doing unitologist things where they're going around going crazy and saying that, oh my god, everything's going on. That is, this is divine and everything. I'm like, how can you look at this and say it's divine? This is the furthest thing from divine, but crazy's gonna crazy. Isaac is also a lot more of a character in Dead Space 1 remake, obviously, because in the original, he was sort of a blank slate character, which is fine, but he really just had like no personality. There were like hints here of some personality, but there really wasn't any. Now Isaac has a personality, and his personality is quite frankly kind of done with some of this shit. He's carrying everybody on his back, and it still isn't enough because Isaac is built different, but he's not that built different. Dr. Mercer is portrayed extremely well. He's such a conniving, fucking seething rat asshole, and the goddamn man is a mad scientist and makes the hunter. Fuck that thing. Hate him. Annoying. He shows up a lot more than he does in the original, which I'm fine with, but oh my god, go away. He's like a bad ex. Leave me alone. I already deleted your phone number. Why are you still calling me? Um, so yeah, as for ambience and everything, they absolutely hit it out of the park. Most of the ship is fairly well lit, but there's some places where it's actually super dark, and there's a lot of sounds going on. There's a lot of like ambient sounds in the distance. If you hear like necromorphs and people screaming, and it doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens, it's like, oh yeah, there it is. There's that feeling. The feeling, I will say that Dead Space gives you a feeling of almost always being watched. Like when you're going through these levels, you kind of always feel like something could jump out at any second, but sometimes it just doesn't. And then you lower your guard down, and then it happens. And it's like, oh, fuck you. Yeah, the sound design really does a lot. It really does help sort of accentuate, the horror elements. And I can hear some people saying Dead Space isn't really that scary of a game. Yeah, it's not a traditional. Fuck, I don't like calling them traditional horror games because they're not. They're trash. Jump scare simulators, that's not horror. Dead Space is more of a slow burn cosmic horror sort of thing. And once you really read into the lore, and once actual lore, not. I'm not even going to say it. Fuck's sake. Actual, good, well written lore, and you see everything that's going on. There's flesh over the walls. There's a dude that is like coughing up his own blood. There's a dude that just kills himself right in front of you. Well, it's actually a girl that does it. Two or three, I think. And you really just see the madness of everything going on. And you hear it in audio logs too. You hear sorrow and pain, but there's also audio logs of, say, Dr. Mercer, where he is absolutely out of his goddamn mind, saying all of this is divine and everything, and this is going to be the next step to human evolution. Yeah, no, bad. You stop that. Yeah, that's exactly what I like to have in my horror. I want it to be, not just loud noise, jump scare, some freaky monster comes out of nowhere. No, 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 no. I want the ambience to tell the story. I want the, very small character dialogues or like audio logs or written notes to tell what's going on. It's like as soon as that marker was unearthed, everything just happened. But on Aegis 7, and it eventually spread to the Ishimura. And people in the Ishimura kind of like, especially the higher ups on Ishimura, it kind of ignored the colony. They ignored the colony, and look what happened. I mean, as soon as the marker was unearthed, they really fucking couldn't do anything. That's what you get for going to Aegis 7. It was, classified and banned for a very good reason. Well, the real reason is that CEC is a not trustworthy entity. They're really not. Also, Isaac's relationship with Nicole was already kind of strained before the Ishimura. So, yeah. Spoiler, by the way. Nicole died with that, sort of, that relationship strained. And, man, Isaac just cannot fucking catch a break. So yeah, the Dead Space remake is a fantastic game, and there's so much more to do. There's side quests now, and the game just feels longer than the original. I mean, I think I've blown through the original in maybe like 7 or 8 hours, but the remake is a little bit longer, but it doesn't feel like padding, which is a good thing. You're on this entire journey, and you're not just gonna breeze through it. Well, if you're New Game Plus, fully upgraded weapon, fully upgraded rig, then maybe, but still. And also if you just use the contact beam, because the contact beam is actually overpowered. So there's that. But the remake is very good, and I still cannot believe how well they handled the remake. And I really do hope that Dead Space 2 remake becomes a thing. If they make Dead Space 2 even better by this sort of style of remake, it is going to be one of the best selling games in recent years. I have a sneaking suspicion. Now, I heard on the pipeline that that may or may not happen because apparently EA saw that the Dead Space remake was a quote unquote financial loss or a failure. They're assholes. They're up their own ass, and just let your smaller teams cook. Leave them be. Because we got the Dead Space remake and it's fucking awesome. I will say though, I have seen some oddities with the game. If you overwrite your save file again and again and again, the game can kind of break. Like some character models and things won't appear in cutscenes. So it looks like Isaac is talking to himself and getting angry at himself, which is funny and also like, yeah, he's losing his mind. But it kind of like breaks the game. That's a problem. So if that happens, go back to your previous save, make a new save file, and then delete the overrated save file. And that will fix it. So there's a little tip for you. Maybe it's not true for everybody, but it is for me. Have I seen any like stutters or anything like that? Not really, no. I have the game on Ultra, and the game pretty much just runs smooth 60 FPS. Now there's some dips every now and then. Maybe I could bring it down to high and then I would have no dips, but it's fine. And I've seen some oddities with the physics. The physics are gonna physic. I mean, it's all right. Are there any parts of the game where I think are just like badly made? No, I actually don't think so. The only thing that kind of annoys me is when you do a new game plus, you don't start with any of your weapons. You did in the original, but you don't here. So if you don't have the plasma cutter at all, like upgraded at all, you're just going to be starting the game basically as a new save file. So until you get to the first store, which is after the first chapter. Why? Why can't we start with our weaponry? I don't get it, but that's fine. Uh, that's just it's sort of a nitpick. I know it's probably not a problem for everybody, but it's just a little annoying. Also, no, I am not playing on the hardest difficulty. You can, take that hardest difficulty and stuff it. I'm not doing it. I wouldn't even do it as a live stream because it would be pain. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do, one life crap because knowing me, I would die from the dumbest effing thing. But yeah, the Dead Space remake, it really did blow my expectations out of the water. I think I said so at the end of the playthrough that I did, the first playthrough that I did, where I said that was incredible, or maybe I didn't say that, or was I, during it, but I think it was, yeah, something like that. Whatever, who cares? I've said it before. I'm pretty sure I know I've said it before. The game really had no right to be that good. When I heard that there was a Dead Space remake, I was like, oh no, don't. Okay, this could either be very good or it could be absolute dog trash. But it was just unexpected. Came out, and when I eventually got it, I'm like, holy shit. Um, this is amazing. Jesus Christ. This is the golden standard of remakes. I think a few people have said that, and I kind of agree. If you're going to make a remake it like the Dead Space remake, where you take the original formula, the original blueprint, but you expand on it, and you adjust a few things in a very nice, fun way. So if they ever do a Devil May Cry 1 remake, I would love it to be basically, original Devil May Cry 1, which I've never played. I know, I'm garbage. I've also never played Devil May Cry 3. I know, blah, 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 don't care. I will eventually. Um, where they take it and it's like, oh, this is basically just, Devil May Cry 1, but it's like styled like Devil May Cry 5, and it's just, there's more to it, because I know the the original Devil May Cry is not very long. So, you know, if you're going to make a remake, basically remake it from the ground up. Just keep the original beats. A remaster, just, update the graphics and all of that. But yeah, this was basically just me saying that, yeah, the Dead Space remake is amazing, and it's still amazing. I really, really do enjoy it. I love that we have it. I do kind of wish that they added some DLC to it, not just like, weapons and things, but like, maybe more side quests or some other thing to add even more playtime. That'd be cool. Maybe they'll do that for a Dead Space 2 remake, because Titan Station is a lot bigger than the Ishimura. Is it? Yeah, no, it is. It is way bigger than the Ishimura, because the Ishimura kind of looks small compared to Titan Station. So, yeah. Well, if the Dead Space 2 remake becomes a thing, the Ishimura is going to be another, panic attack train, as it is. But, anyway, with all that being said, I hope you enjoy the Dead Space remake as much as I do, because I sure as hell do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, in Trilby, we trust.